Hi, good day everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to talk about one interesting aspect which you should question yourself before you take any decisions. Now, what is the question? That's something that you should always keep in mind. Is it what it is costing me? It's a powerful question to evaluate yourself. Let's talk about three different scenarios to have a bigger understanding on that and to see how you can implement that one question for any decision, major decisions you're about to take for your future. Now, let's say you are in a career choosing based on what others told you, not your own interest. Let's say your parents pushed you towards certain direction which you are least were interested, and then by the time you realize you are already in that game, and then when you stop or when you step back, and then that might cost you something which can take a couple of years to readjust your course. However, before you are taking to that steps, ask yourself, let's say your family, your relationships, let's say your family, friends and colleagues are pressing you to take certain course in your education. Reflect back yourself and ask this one question: what it is going to cost your future? Trust me guys, if you first step is in your before you're taking any career path, if you take the wrong step in a wrong direction, let's say you have a four paths and something, you may not be interested in all those four paths, something else will evolve as you grow uh, through your life. But maybe those four paths which was given to you, what is the most dear to you that you wanted to pursue is something that you really wanted to invest your time in to understand more about it. There are so many resources available. Instead of taking because someone else view, because you're not aware about the direction, and then someone is telling you to take, okay, let's take engineering, let's take your science or socials or economics or whatever. And if someone pushed you to take because that can give you a good money in the future, but you're not interested in order for you to pursue, but however, because of the pressure came and then you took into the direction and spent, let's say, 2 or 3 years, that already costed you because genuinely you don't want to do that. However, thinking about the future, it may come with probably, let's say, doctors can have enough money, or engineers, IT professionals, or whatever. And the money is what you see, and then the decision is based on someone else. And if you're genuinely not interested to pursue that, you are on a wrong track, irrespective of how much money that can give you. Because eventually you're going to question yourself as you evolve as a person in your life. So before you take any calls, so let's say, for example, this is one example I gave you in terms of your career, what it's going to cost you. Let's say in a different direction that you want to be an engineer for whatever the reasons. That's what from your childhood telling you to do that, and whatever heart inspires. It could be many things, many aspects. And you take that call, and then also ask question, what it's going to cost you 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, other than your investment of time, energy, resources, what it actually going to cost you. Now something deep inside of you keep telling you that's where you wanted to pursue. Trust me, you're continue to put all your efforts more than required for you to achieve whatever the desired goal you have, or else the direction you are heading into. Maybe in the engineering itself there are a lot of streams you may take. It depends on whatever is your interest. So again, now if your heart says that that's going to even though cost you something, but that's what your heart desires, and that's the right direction for you to go. So make sure any decisions you take, so this is a little bit about in terms of your career. Let's talk about finances a little bit. Now imagine that you settle in your career, and then you into 4 or 5 years, and then you're making decent income. uh, taking care of your family if you're already settled into it, or else you're still single and then you're looking for an opportunities to invest. Now, again, before you take any investment decisions, you really need to ask what it is going to cost you. What it is going to cost you. See, if you're working for someone, your time is correlated with the number of hours you work for the amount of the money you make. It's a very clear cut, simple example. Now, if you're a business entrepreneur, same thing. Your time equals to the income. And where you're investing your time is something that you really need to pay full attention to. Now, let's say, for example, now you're working for someone which is pretty much 80% of, let's say 80 plus percent of the population around the world can't be an entrepreneurs. I don't say can't be because the resources are not good enough for them to start to be an entrepreneurial journey in those initial years. A lot of struggles, so on and so forth. People barely invest in education without sometimes taking a lot of debts. Well, let's say you are into that path, obviously you need to clear up all the debts or whatever, XYZ. Now, question you need to ask again is that what it is costing you to before you invest in anything. Let's say, for example, two examples in terms of a financial education, which can help you if you really understand this simple concept. You want to buy a house which is, let's say, 1 crore in Indian rupees, let's say $100,000 in US dollars. Now, at this point of time, let's say today you decided to purchase the house, unless until you really have $100,000 or 1 crore given to your hand, go and purchase is a different case. However, mostly that's not the case. Most of the people, let's say, go to 20% of down payments and 80% of the loans. Let's say $800,000 debt, 80 lakhs debt. Worst case scenarios, 9 to 10% of interest. Let's say 15 to 25 years. Let's say you have 15 to 20 years of premium that you have to pay, interest you have to pay, along with your principal. It will double up. Now, from today onwards, what you're making per an hour versus how much it's costing you to complete the loan, let's say for $800,000 or 80 lakhs. Now, divided by number of hours, I'm sure whatever the amount you're making, you have a certain number you will reach to what you make per an hour, and then divided by number of amount of the commitment you have, and see number of hours you will be already borrowing yourself for the future, which means you already borrowed your time. Many things can happen from now till 15 years to 20 years down the line. You can start your family, kids will come on the way, things can drift apart, you may lose your job. There are so many things involved into it before you take those big commitments. Let's say everything goes well, you go back there, let's say 15 years from now to ahead, and then you manage to do it, well done to you. But at the same time, if you look back, all the stress you had gone through, all the commitments you had to pull through with the shoulders and your shoulders, it's quite challenging because of two things. You need to know that unless until you have enough resources back end to support you, there are people like that, which is okay to take a calculated risks, but don't commit yourself too much at early stages of your career in terms of finances. Then I took a simple example of a big ticket item, and things can go on with, let's say you have expenses for your wedding, you have expenses for your cars, and so on and so forth, which is all taking away or eating up your money along with the big commitment you have already in your pocket. So you need to reanalyze what it is costing me. In this question, in this aspect, you need to understand how much time already you're borrowing of your future today in order to pursue that purchase. If you have some clarity by revisiting that, I always say that on any big ticket items, please take your time to reevaluate minimum 3 months. And I'm telling you, if you go through a process, you will understand pros, cons, what exactly you want, and how you want to pursue it. Let's come back to the third point in terms of what it's going to cost you is the big subject, which is relationships. Person, at some point of time, you fall in love, man, woman, girl, boy, whatever the stage you are in, and then you come into a relationship. Let's say you eventually getting married to start a family. Before you do that, both of you should ask questions: what it's going to cost you for your future. Same way I explained in the past, 10 to 20 years down the line, things may change, things can drift apart. It's not the same. Most of the relationships problem starts with the finances and of course intimate relationships, and then on the name of independence and freedom, things can drift apart in many ways. And the process, if you bring the child in both of your lives, someone is going to suffer if both parties are 100% committed for the future. Now, we may not have answers, but there are some signs you can really figure it out by taking enough time in order to take the decision. What it's going to cost you, how much can you afford in order for that challenge or the pleasure which is going to come for you now from here to the future, and then how much can you stay grounded and then stand on your feet thinking that no matter what happens, I'm going to give it a try, I'm going to give it a shot, and then I'm never going to give up. That's something attitude, and then we can talk about those in a different videos. But these three questions or three scenarios can definitely help you to reevaluate yourself before you're taking any big decisions for your life. What it is costing you for your future. Now, the good part of this is that when you reevaluate, and things can have a little clarity for you. And then, of course, if you're 100% committed wherever you want to go, and I believe that's the way you should take forward. But somewhere down the line, if you find there is a little bit of foggy and then there's no clarity from, probably you are 100%, more than 200% committed in your life. Maybe not the other person, maybe not other the challenge, maybe not other the profession you choose to, maybe the private jobs. Like recently, they said 1,000 employees were laid off at Google. I'm just giving a small example. Things can come in at different stages at different times, and trust me, things will hit you back when you have a worse times going on, 1, 2, 3 back to back. And then how well are you equipped in those? If you're an individual, looking in all aspects before you take the decisions. Idea is for you to understand and question yourself before you taking any big decisions. What it is costing you right now, what will it cost you 5 years down the line, how you can handle that pressure, challenge, situation which may come along, and if you're taking someone with you, be it in a relationships, how committed are they with you to pursue the similar goals for you to achieve happy and successful life. And again, we talk about that happy and successful in a different terms, but please ensure that you question yourself before you taking any big decisions. And what is it going to cost you, and how some of them, if you recollect and then see small things that can divert your entire journey to a different direction with the small decisions we take immaturely. So educating yourself can go a long way in your life. Educate, educate, educate. Educate in your relationships, educate yourself in finances, educate yourself before you're taking a big decisions of the career you're going to pursue in your life without someone else influencing you. End of the day, you have to carry your own bag. Remember that no one is going to carry the additional weight on you. Imagine if you're a person with 200 lbs of the weight. For you to walk, for you to take a little jog makes you a little difficult because you're carrying the weight of your body which you cannot carry for a long run to run, let's say 100 meters race or 200 or 400 meters race. Imagine that then you're carrying, let's say, 10 kilos at the back. a 20 kilos at the back or 30 kilograms on your back and running, your journey, your walk may seems not easy. It's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. Run without any baggage for 100 meters. See how fast you can reach. Run 100 meters with carrying 30 to 40 kilos on your weight and see how fast can you reach. Similar thinking process you need to operate. How much baggage you want to carry in your life to achieve your desired goal, destination, whatsoever it may be. And I hope that helps. And to summarize, before you take any big decisions, ask yourself what it is costing you now, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, let's say for 20 years down the line. And if you're convinced, take your time for 3 months for any big decisions, reevaluate, think, rethink, and shrink that thought for you to have a little clarity. Okay? Most importantly, try to run without the baggage of your life. There are things which may come easy, there are things which may not come easily. So, how equipped you are, how capable you are, and then how much of a strong determination to achieve whatever you want to achieve with a strong faith and belief in yourself and your capabilities and your abilities makes all the difference. But I hope this session will help you to reevaluate any big decisions you're going to take for your future. Thank you once again. Do leave your comments and thoughts, and have a great day ahead.